I've learned to conserve more of my energy by identifying myself to my awareness, to this stability, to this noticing phenomenon in my, in myself. Or maybe you call that your inner self. Hello, how's it been with you? Well, today is the 8th of July and it marks the Mansari. Call it Mansari in the Philippines. If it's 1 month anniversary. Anniversary is for 1 year, but we say Mansari. Yes, Mansari of my meditation practice, which I do for 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. And I kid you not, yes, as what you've read in the title, this is the most stable month I've felt emotionally in my entire life. I, I am a person who feels deeply. Um, my emotions would go like this a lot. Yes, when I was a teenager, I was really rebellious and I I I was angry, which carried on to my 20s. I was more of melancholic in my 20s, and I tried to get through with it through my poetry and my writings and my performances. And I wasn't the most positive person you will meet when you would have met me in my teens, probably. Well, that's normal for a teenager, but in my 20s, no, I wasn't. I would still smile. I'm a very polite person, I guess, and smiley person, but yes, I would carry this melancholy and grief in me, and it was very heavy. I would sleep a lot. I would procrastinate a lot. Um, I would get sick very often. But yes, after going through a meditation retreat, which was the Vipassana that I went through for 10 days last month, and then I continued on for the coming days by meditating in the morning and the evening. This is, I think, the most stable emotional experience I've had in my life. I wouldn't say that, what's that noise? I wouldn't say that I did not feel an emotion, but because of the practice, I was able to be equanimous and ground myself in my center rather than be swept in the emotion. Because the tendency when we feel an emotion like anger or sadness, we identify with it. And for me, I would clearly identify myself with the sadness. And then I would lock myself up. I would stay in my room and I wouldn't have a lot of energy to do things. Um, and what the practice gives you, what meditation gives you, is that it makes you see clearer that you have this thing called awareness, that one that notices the feelings of anger and the feelings of sadness. So when you are in that, try to contact that awareness that notices that. Or even with a thought, there is this awareness that um not that's capable of noticing the thoughts, whether it's fantasy, judgment, or memory. So if you have a thought in mind, then you try to name them. The that thing that's naming that kind of thought is the awareness, or that phenomenon. I don't know what to call it. That phenomenon that's noticing the feeling of anger, of sadness. That is called the awareness, or that which notices the sensations in your body, with whether it's hot, cold, wet, dry, all of these things that's happening inside of us. um, it's called awareness, that one that notices that. So I was more attached to that part of myself, and I've identified myself more to my awareness rather than to the things that are happening around me. And all these things, all these feelings, all these thoughts, all these sensations, they're temporary and they're just passing by. And that's why I said I'm most stable, because I've identified myself more to that um, awareness, which is just there, just stable, just in the center. And whenever I'm swept a bit with some kind of emotions or some kind of unpleasant sensations, I'd go to the self, the one that notices, and just watch these sweep away. It doesn't mean that I'm not feeling anything or that there's nothing happening in me. Of course, there still is. But, you know, choosing to be able to identify with awareness rather than these things is what gives me this stability. And it's given me more energy, because when you identify, or at least when I identify with my feelings of sadness and anger, that takes a lot of energy from me. And um, I feel heavy. I don't have a lot of vitality, because those things is taking away all that energy that's supposed to go to my work, that's supposed to go to the things that I like to do, is taken away by these fleeting feelings. So I've learned to conserve more of my energy by identifying myself to my awareness, to this stability, to this noticing phenomenon in my, in myself. Or maybe you call that your inner self. And because of this, my room is also more organized, and I also get to feel connected to the people, um, the people that I love, my family, my friends, and those that I just meet casually anywhere, because there's part of that meditation that um, allows you or has you think of the people around you and send them love and kindness and compassion and peace. These qualities that I found inside while meditating. So we spread that out to the world. And um, I've been thinking a lot of the people I've met in life, my family, and thinking of them in a more positive way, in a loving way, in a compassionate way, sending them energy of harmony and energy of peace. So that's a really good way of training the mind to be identifying to this more mm, more vital or more energy giving thoughts than to think of them and their flaws and your conflicts and how things went bad or maybe even good, but there's another option, there's another alternative to relating to them or to thinking to them, which is to give them loving kindness and compassion. um and well, that's how it's been to me for the first month of meditation. And this all happened because of Vipassana. I've had other practices of meditation before, but I didn't have the proper guide. So it also helped, manifestation meditation, Reiki meditation, and things like that. Um, so I've tried several meditations before, but this is the time that I was guided properly, and I have more confidence in myself, that I'm doing the appropriate or the right thing. And it's been really fruitful. I hope that one day you will have the chance to join a Vipassana course. It's everywhere, actually. It's really good for your mental health, for your vitality, for your relationship, and for your connection to the rest of the world. And of course, to find that central thing in you, which is love, which is the quality of compassion, the quality of peace, and that be your impetus or your push to do your work in the world, whatever kind of things that you love to do, and service that you can give, the service that you can give to, to your community or to your family or to your loved ones or to your work. um, so that's all for me. I hope you have a good day. I'm sending you loving kindness to all of you who are watching this. I'll see you later.